Welcome back to the channel. I just recently made some cleaning in my shelves and getting rid of a bunch of books, so I thought of doing like a bookshelf tour with all the books that I kept on the shelf. Well, on the shelves, because honestly, there's a lot, and I needed room, and I don't really have a lot of like wall space into my room. Well, I have a lot of walls, but not enough to actually put bookshelves on because of the way it's like made. So yeah, I'll show all the books now that I God, look at this bunny. I don't know why she looks terrified right now. Maybe it's because for her I'm yelling in her ear, but anyway. And you will have seen beginning of the video a cute little video of her like scratching in her box, trying to place her blanket. Because I keep like knocking it out, like the blanket and stuff, so it's never how she wants it. So she has to place it herself. Yeah. I'll put her on the floor now. So cute. So here's an overview of the shelves. And we will start from this one up here. Also, there's no books down here because the bunny has a tendency to eat books. So you will see the damage later on. So we start here with Second Foundation by Isaac Asimov. Technically, I kept it here because I might do like a scrapbook page with it because like I bought it new, and this is what happened. The pages are falling out, so I'm using it as like I want to do something with it. So yeah. And then we have first book we have on the shelf is Breaking Time by Sasha Ellsberg. The Caves of Steel, The Naked Sun, The Robots of Dawn, Robots and Empire by Isaac Asimov, and that's his Elijah Bailey series and art and Neil Oliva. And we have L'Évasion by K.A. Applegate, so this is the first Animorphs book. Book 3, The Encounter. Here. Le Message. Le Prédateur. Yeah, Le Prédateur. La Capture. L'inconnu. La décision. Le départ. La découverte. L'ennemi. La solution. Et l'héritier. Love that one with the bunny on it. So cute. And then here we have I, Robot by Isaac Asimov, but it's not supposed to be there. So I'll quickly put it back to where it belongs. Okay, and now we have Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout in her Lux series, which honestly I prefer this than any other alien stuff ever. And then we have book 2, so Onyx. I hate these covers, by the way. They just look like really romance covers, but they're not that bad. Like, anyway, and here we have Opal in Origins, so book 3 and 4 of the Lux series. And then we have Zenith and Nexus, which is the Andromeda Saga by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. And then I have little things that I will turn into bookmarks of like animals. And then Yoshi thing that is supposed to be for the bunny, but I didn't give it to her yet. And then got Zanosas, Zan Nomad, and Zan Combat des Cirques. So It's a French series that was pretty cool when I was younger, but now it's like missing something because it used to have a website and now you can't really access it anymore. So anyway, and these are from Anne-Marie Saint-Cerny. Then I have the novelization of Hook by Terry Brooks. Le Passager by Patrick Sénécal. Le Journal d'Aurélie Laflamme by India Desjardins, Book 7. Tith and Ironside, that is empty right now because I'm currently reading it, by Holly Black. And then if we go down here, I have The Return, that is not in this dust jacket because I kind of reading that one at the same time. And then here I have a old phone case of Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time because I used to be obsessed with Captain Hook. A snack thing that my dog keeps wanting to eat, and I want to keep this because it's actually from Kenya, and a friend of mine is from Kenya, and he brought it back, so it's pretty cool. Miraculous Ladybug, a little mirror thing that I don't even know why I keep, and then here's all the bookmarks in this Star Wars cup. And down here, this is actually from a friend. My friend Ariane wrote this, Sur le Manoir Rosenberg, Book 1, by Ariane Côté. The Isle of the Lost. Return to the Isle of the Lost. Rise of the Isle of the Lost. And Escape the Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz. And these are the companion novels to the Descendant movies. And then I have Ready Player One and Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline. And I have Agatha Christie, Death in the Clouds. So you'll know this one, Avery, if you watch the video. This is the one from that is mentioned in the episode of Doctor Who. What's it called? The Unicorn and the Wasp. Is that what it's called? The one with Agatha Christie in it. So yeah, that's the book that the Doctor has at the end. And here I have Gardez l'œil ouvert. 15 affaires criminelles jamais résolues. Gardez l'œil ouvert. 20 histoires criminelles déconcertantes by Victoria Charleston. And Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. A Dog's Journey and A Dog's Way Home by W. Bruce Cameron. The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 1 by Matt Dinniman. The Kill Order. The Maze Runner. I move this out of the way. The Scorch Trials. Death Cure. And The Fever Code by James Dashner. I read this book for the first time, and a friend of mine basically said that it wasn't a book I should read because it was too intense. Yeah. They were telling me what to do, and they basically watched things and read things that were worse than that, so anyway. The Search for Wandla. A Hero for Wandla. And A Battle for Wandla by Tony DeTrelizzi, which also book 2 is signed, which is pretty cool. And here I'm missing the first one. My cousin has it. It's somewhere in her things. Une octave trop haut by Jessica David. And Entre deux soupirs by Jessica David. And then you go down here. I have these things to put in your books to, make them fancier. The bunny has decided that she wanted to explore her shelves. Interesting. Okay. And then I have this book also in another shelf. I'm currently annotating it and stuff. So Us in Ruin by Rachel Moore. And then I have Le Livre Magique, the first book in the Spiderwick Chronicles in French. The Singing Stone. Lucinda's Secret. the Ironwood Tree, the Wrath of McGrath, that one is hard to say, the Nixie's Song, Giant Problem, and The Worm King, also by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi. And in here I have La Prime, so 1 for the money in French, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 to score and a high five, a hot 6 and 7 up, hard 8 and to the 9, 10 big ones, 11 on top, 12 sharp, lean mean 13, fearless 14, a finger licking 15, sizzling 16, smoking 17, explosive 18, notorious 19, 21, top secret 21, tricky 22, and then here's what the bunny did. Twisted 26, and then 27, which is Fortune and Glory, but also Tantalizing 27. I don't know why at the end of the series they kind of changed the titles of them. Okay. And then down here, I have A Car So Dark and Lonely, by Bridget Kimmer. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. By the same author, I have A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. And then I have Ben Archer and the Cosmic Vault by Ray Knightley, which is book 1 in her Ben Archer and the Alien Skill series. And then got book 2, Ben Archer and the Alien Skill. And then I have Titanic, SOS. They're not in order. La Collision, and Insubmersible by Gordon Corman, which is like a fun little kid's adventure. The Rubik's Curse by Alex Kingston, which is also a river song from Doctor Who, so it's pretty good. You should read this one over, it's really good. Ce Sera Moi by Lila Lee. Alliances, A Trick of Light, by Stanley. Yes, D. Stanley. Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. Okay. La Rebelle de la Deuxième Terre by Lydia Lagarde. La Rebelle de l'Armada by Lydia Lagarde. I Am Number 4 by Pedicus Lore, but yeah, I hate his face, so. The Power of 6, The Fall of 5, and The Rise of 9. K-Pop Confidential by Stephen Lee. Kill Marie of the Orchard by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Chronicles of Avonlea by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, Anne Kitsonian, I forgot what it's called in English. Anne of Ingleside, Anne in Her House of Dreams, Anne au Domaine des Peupliers, and Vallée Arc-en-Ciel, all by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And then I have other books in here, like little small books that I had when I was younger that I might put in video later, but maybe not. We'll see. And then up here I have some Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So Blue from the movie, even though she's not actually blue. And she makes noise when you... It's just sort of broken because she's falling. They got Jurassic Park 3, Raptor, Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic Park 1. And then I have, what's it called? The Cruel Prince, but a friend is borrowing it right now. I have The Wicked King, The Queen of Nothing, The Stolen Heir, and The Prisoner's Throne, and How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories, all by Holly Black. I have Adessa, which is by Myriam Baudouin, and it's surprisingly really good. It's a historical fiction. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed that. The Phantom Menace, the novelization by Terry Brooks. The Dalek Generation by Nicholas Briggs. Rise of the Titanic by Clive Cussler. And Vixen 3 by Clive Cussler. Sahara by Clive Cussler. Sphere by Michael Crichton. I got Micro by Michael Crichton. The Great Train Robbery. Oops, the dinosaur's gonna fall. Jurassic Park. And The Lost World, also by Michael Crichton. That's why the dinos were there, because there's a T-Rex, and I just kind of put them to, like, you know, look at it. Anyway. Congo, also by Michael Crichton. This one is freaky. Not freaky, but it's kind of weird. Anyway, and then I got Next. And I got the Andromeda Evolution, also by Michael Crichton, but technically it's by someone else because he died before I finished it. And then I got Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And then here are all the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books that I have. But I also have The Neverending Story that I sort of gave it a cover because it was just random. And I did a Falcor on it, but it's bad. I mean, my attempt to spray it just... Now here I have Secret of the Old Clock, The Hidden Staircase, The Bungalow Mystery, The Secret of Shadow Ranch, The Mystery at Lilac Inn, The Secret of Red Farm Gate, The Clue in the Diary, Nancy's Mysterious Letter, The Sign of the Twisted Candle, Password to Larkspur Lane, The Secret of the Old Attic, The Clue in the Crumbling Wall, The Mystery of the Tolling Bell, The Clue in the Old Album, The Ghost of Blackwood Hall, The Clue of the Leaning Chimney, The Secret of the Wooden Lady, and The Clue of the Black Keys, which are all by Carolyn Keene. So all the Nancy Drew books that I own. Oh no, wait, I actually have two other. And then I have the Hardy Boys Mystery at Devil's Paw in French. So this is by Franklin W. Dixon, and this is an old copy, which is racist. I have The Clue of the Velvet Mask and Mystery at the Ski Jump. And then I have the Nancy Drew files, which are 3-in-1 that includes Secrets Can Kill, Deadly Intent, and Murder on Ice. And behind Nancy Drew's, I have some Hardy Boys. They're not in order, so I have The Comic Con Artist, Murder at the Mall, Death and Diamonds, Operation Survival, Top 10 Ways to Die, Martial Law, Blown Away, Hurricane Joe, Thrill Ride, and Boardwalk Bust. And the Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers series, so that's like the newer version they made in the thousands, and they're like spies. And then I got Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys Super Mystery, which is the Girl Detective and the Undercover Brothers, and this one is called Club Dread. And then I have another Super Mystery, which one is Danger Overseas. And then I have one of the Hardy Boys Adventures, book 4, and I got 5 somewhere, just not on the shelf. And then, just gonna move them again. I have a few of the Hardy Boys in hardcover, the original ones that were revised a few years ago, and some friends have borrowed them, so they're still not at home. The Missing Chum, Hunting for Missing Gold, A Hidden Gold, The Shore Road Mystery, Mystery of the Caves, The Mystery of Cabin Island, The Great Airport Mystery, What Happened at Midnight. Just gonna move all of these out of the way. This is a really badly positioned. Okay. While the clock ticked. Footprints under the window. The Hidden Harbor Mystery. The Sinister Signpost. The Secret Warning. And then up here I have the Firebird Rocket. The Arctic Patrol Mystery, The Mystery of the Spiral Bridge, The Haunted Fort, The Mystery of the Desert Giant, and The Mystery of Chinese Junk. Okay, and here I have The Secret Warning. I think I showed that one. But yeah, I got a Secret Warning. The Disappearing Floor, Disappearing Book. The bunny has done that. Mystery of the Flying Express. The Clue of the Broken Blade. The Melted Coin. The Shortwave Mystery. The Secret of Skull Mountain. The Wailing Siren Mystery. Oops, you didn't even see the book. The Secret of Wildcat Swamp. The Clue in the Embers. And The Secret of Pirates Hill. All by Franklin W. Dixon. Okay, and then down here I have this pocket thing for my book when I want to read it. I have Beastly by Alex Flynn. Outlander, the first book in the French edition of the movie covers, which surprisingly I kind of like, by Diana Gabaldon. I got the second one, so Dragonfly and Ember. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Up here I have A Fairy Tale by Stephen King. So good. Love this book. It's chunky though. Ariel à l'école des espions, mathématiques et bombes by Evelyn Gauthier. Bazooka et caméra. Satellite et Boblin. Banana Split et Missile. Which I like about this series is that it's taking place in an area that I actually used to live in. And like every time I would go by the place where this takes place in, I would be like, hey, it's the place where the book is taking place. So I really love that. It was really cool. Okay, and also, Bunny's in her box. She's back in her box because I was in the way and she did not like that. So, yeah, she's happy in her box. Okay. Here I have A Thousand Skies Above You by Claudia Gray. A Million Worlds with You, also by Claudia Gray. I don't even know if these are in order. I don't remember. Anyway, I got The Princess Bride by William Goldman. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Ce que murmure le vent by Annie Harmon. This is Anna Green Cable's thing, because I didn't know what the titles were in French when I was younger, so I needed to put these to know which ones where they go where. Anyway. Illuminae Files, Book 1 by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff. The Illuminae Files, Book 2. And Obsidio, also same series, Book 3. And then I have Cujo by Stephen King, my first ever book by him, and I love that book so much. But actually my favorite one is this one, so Misery by Stephen King. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Book 1 by Jeff Kinney. And then here's just really random stuff. I got a memoir by Cyndi Lauper, so it's by Cyndi Lauper and Janice Dunn. Pride and Prejudice and The Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I'm not going to take it out because it takes forever. I got The Backpacker Killer by Max Kayes, which is like a sort of thing about like an actual killer in Australia who killed people who traveled in the outback and stuff. Avatar, The Guide of Pandora, so it's like a bunch of information on the first two movies. The Jurassic Park universe, like books, but like from the movie. Here I have a Stranger Things comic, which is the one basically that is like what happened, how that Dustin meet his girlfriend and stuff. Lucky Luke, so Le Juge, and Rué sur l'Oklahoma, which is interesting because the judge actually someone that actually existed. And then here I have The Arts and Making of Arcane. And I don't know why, but this thing kind of smells like Play-Doh. And here's older books. Martine Petit-Rat d'Opéra. These are my mom's when she was a kid. So, by Gilbert de la Haye and Marcel Marlier. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Okay. By the same people. Martine Petit-Théâtre. Martine à la maison. Martine à l'école. Et Martine monte à cheval. Okay, now it's all falling down. And these are actually books that are really expensive to make, and they don't make them anymore. And the author had said that they were a fortune. So, like, if you have a bunch of them, you kind of have a fortune. So I do have a bunch of them. So I collect them now. I got Corridor au Trésor, Limonade. It says Il était deux fois because it's like a book where when you change, like it's a page like this, for example, when you with certain purple, what's cool is that when you go back to the same page on the other side, so page 36, and then you go to the other side on page 36. Oops. Oh, it turns out this one is shorter. Okay. You will have a little thing where it's the opposite character. So you follow those two girls who are best friends. So Zoe and Katrin. But like when it turns purple, it's basically what one of them is doing at the same time as the other one. And the way it's done is really cool. So it's really fun and it's really colorful. I got that one. I got Masquerade. La plage à gogo 3 times. Belle Magie 2 times. And these are all by Richard Petit. Océane, I have it twice. Also, the covers are different on both sides. As you can see, same book, but different cover. Photocopine. And this is what it looks like on the other side. Miss Whoopieville. And this on the other side. Rose Mimi. It's funny because this one is all in pink and black and like purples, while the others are just really colorful. I do not like that how this one looks. And then I have Belle des Étoiles. I got Disco Gigi twice. Honestly, you read this one, you feel exhausted after because the character is very annoying. Magiquillage. And La Gardienne des Clés, which I also have twice. Okay. And then here is Magic School Bus presents The Earth in French. Yeah. I mean, it's Magic School Bus. I love this show as a kid. The only thing I hate is that since it's the first version, the names of certain kids are changed. And I know some of them wouldn't make sense in French, but I don't like that. The only one who hasn't changed the name is Carlos. Anyway. A Glitch in Time by Gabriella Epstein. So it's a Danny Phantom adventure. I love that book so much. Silver Wing by Kenneth Opel. And this is illustrated by Christopher Steiner. I got book 5 in 5 Worlds and the Emerald Gate by Mark Siegel, Alexi Siegel, Zente Bouma, Matt Rockefeller, and Boya Sun. And then I also have 5 Worlds, the Amber Anthem by the same people. And then Lost in Taiwan by Mark Crilly. Okay, now moving on to the white shelves. I have Touched by an Angel by Jonathan Morris. Tremblay. 10 histoires criminelles vraies et flippantes. Tremblay encore. By Mex Guys, so this French YouTuber that has 1.5 million followers. Crime au Japon. C'est Crimes qui viennent du froid, also Tremblay by the same guy. Now he has 2 million followers. Crimes sans frontières by Mex Guys and Victoria Charleston. Other Earth by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. Other Life by the same people. Fairest, Stars Above, Shander, Scarlet, Crest, and Winter by Marissa Meyer. And then I have Roswell High, The Watcher. So that's book 4 by Melinda Meltz. I mean, this was my Twilight growing up. Which Twilight is basically a ripoff of this, but like with vampires, but this is aliens. A New Kid in School. Bon Chic Bon Genre. Un été à la Lizzie. Crise de nerfs. Peine d'amour. Mon frère malgré tout. All Lizzie McGuire books. And then here I have, what's it called in English? In French it's Fils du Ciel, but it's, like, something, I know it has the same name as a book, Airborne, similar to, Brandon Sanderson book. That's why I was, like, trying to figure out the name. It's very similar, the title. And then I got Skybreaker and Star Climber by Kenneth Opel, which is book 3 in that trilogy. And then here I have Silver Wing and Sunwing by Kenneth Opel. The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Down here I have Geekarella and the Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. Again But Better by Kristen Riesche. Better Together by Kristen Riesche. I love how her cover is like double-sided. The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. Is that how? Yeah. And The Bookwoman's Daughter. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Hollow City. These are things for to put here, but they're broken. Library of Souls. A Map of Days. Conference of the Birds. Desolation of Devil's Acres. And Miss Peregrine's Museum of Wonders. By Ransom Riggs. Divergent. Allegiant. And Insurgent. I think they're not in right order, but that's okay. And then I got 4 by Veronica Roth. And then I have Nez une mauvaise étoile, so The Bad Beginning. The Reptile Room. The Wide Window. The Austere Academy. The Hersatz Elevator. The Val Village. The Hostile Hospital. The Carnivorous Carnival. The Slippery Slope. The Grim Grotto. And The End by Lemony Snicket. And then here I have The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. Dreamland. Counting Miracles. Safe Haven. Funny story about this book. I was reading it when I was younger, and one of my friends came to family friends came picking me up for an event, and I was reading this, and then their son, who was maybe 1 or 2 at a time, grabbed the book and was just staring at this cover for a very long time, which was very funny. Yeah, I will always remember this. The Longest Ride. The Notebook. 2 by 2. Every Breath. This one is really cute. It's actually a true story. The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. And then I have The Outer Banks, Lights Out by Alyssa Schneemel. I have no clue how to pronounce her name. Sorry if I butchered it. And then Holes by Louis Sasher. The Help by Katrin Stockett. Okay, that's gonna be better. Stranger Things, The Flight of Icarus by Caitlin Schneiderhan. Really hard to pronounce. La vie invisible d'Addie LaRue. So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. One of the pretty much the only books by V. Schwab that I like. Surprisingly, it's either his or miss for me. A Shock Girl, Shock Street. Say Cheese and Die. Let's Get Invisible. The Girl Who Cried Monster. My Hairiest Adventure. The Abominable Snowman in Pasadena. Brain Juice. Stay Out of the Basement. And Monster Blood by R.L. Stine. And then I have Les Mystères de la Montagne Rouge by Theo Stilton book. Also missing a few of these. Oh, okay, yeah, they're up there. Okay, that's fine. And then here I have mangas. So I have Albator, which is Space Captain Harlock. The so is that 85 or is it 70 something? I can't remember because there's 2 versions of this. So I can't remember which one this is, but it's my favorite one. And it's by Leiji Matsumoto. Yeah. And then I got One Piece, Show the Thriller Bark arc by Ishio Oda, which is 46 through 48. The second part of Thriller Bark, so 49 to 51. Sabodi, part 1. And then Sabodi, part 2. No, wait, this is Impel Dawn. And then here I have Case Closed, or Detective Conan, book 1, book 2, book 3, and these are all by Gosho Aoyama. 4, 5. They look very 80s because they are actually from like early 90s. So, oh, they're not even in order. What is this? Okay. First one. And then the last one that I own in the series. And this is the first manga that I ever read that I fell in love with mangas. So, yeah. Pandora Hearts by Jun Mohizuki? No clue how to pronounce it. A favorite character. This guy always reminds me of my best friend in high school. And book 4. It's also like a twisted Alice in Wonderland, which is very good. And then the first Miraculous Ladybug comic by Zag and Toy Animation. The adaptation is by Komawahito, and the drawings are by Riku Tsuhida. And then I got like the manga version of Big Hero 6, which is different from the movie, but it's like, I think what started it, by Haruki Ueno. And then I got the second one. And here I have Letter-B, Satagami Bashi, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I have Spy Family, which are not in order as well. What is this? Okay. I need to put them in order. I was tired when I did this, okay? So yeah. We all know what Spy Family looks like. Anyway. Yeah. And then I got this one, which is like all information about the show. Well, not show, but like the manga. And now for the last shelf. Okay, up here I have this thing that I made. It's called a lub. It's from one of my favorite books ever. Avery, you know what that is, right? You know what the lub is? And now the lub doesn't want to stay. Okay. I got it. I got Here Reached Sam by Dustin Tao, whatever, I don't know. Of Monsters in Mainframe by Barbara Truelove. This, best way to describe it is Hotel Transylvania in space, in my opinion. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade by Rob McGregor. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Mr. Jekyll, The Strange Case of Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Calling All Creeps. Harley Davis Teenage Superhero by K.L. Scipio, which this is inspired by Danny Phantom, Code Lyoko, and Ben 10. The style, the art style, and also signed. And also I'm in back or thank you because I drew the character before. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is a gift from a friend. The World by H.G. Wells. A terrible rebinding cover thingy that I did of Project Hail Mary. I tried. I kind of like how it looks. It's just floating there. And also inside I made little Rockies, but you can't really see. I wanted to try rebinding. And then here I have Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. Also, signed book, which is a gift from my friend Avery. Also, this is where this thing comes from. The lub is from the Shadow Glass. And then here I have... It's not in order. I hate this. Okay, Let's Split Up by Bill Wood. And Be Right Back by Bill Wood. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. The novelization of some episodes of Phil of the Future. Dans une galaxie près de chez vous, saison 1, volume 1. Volume 2. And saison 2. Saison 2, volume 1. I was looking for these. So, this is by Pierre-Yves Bernard and Claude Legault, so also by this guy. So yeah, it's basically scripts of a show that everybody pretty much knows in Quebec. So yeah. And then Première Escale by Marie-Lou Addison. Tangle, the novelization, but as comic. And then Tangled Before and Ever After, which is also like in comic book form. Once Upon a Time novelization, so from the TV show, which is like the first few episodes of season 1. Descendants, School Secrets, CJ's Treasure Chest. I don't really know who wrote this either because it doesn't say. La mystérieuse disparition de Gonchos by Briac. L'ennemi aux griffes d'acier by Nadia Larouche. Les petites filles modèles, La Comtesse de Ségur. So this is basically I forgot what it's called, but it's like super popular. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I know they made a TV show based on this in the 80s. Voyage on the Great Titanic, so Diary of Margaret Ann Brodie. So like Dear America. And then here is my Anthony Horowitz shelf. Snake, that my friend Avery made. Forever and a Day by Anthony Horowitz, which is inspired by something by Ian Fleming, so the guy who wrote James Bond. My brain did not want to work. Okay. The Word is Murder. Magpie Murder. And then I have Stormbreaker in French. Point Blanche. Scorpia. Eagle Strike. You will notice some of these names are seen more because, yes, I collect the books from that series. Stormbreaker. Point Blank, which is same book but in French and English. Snake is annoying. Okay. And then here is also Point Blank, but this is the TV show edition from Prime. Love the show, so. And I made this bookmark with the name of favorite character on it and the main character's name. And also, which is really cool, my friend Avery also made this bookmark out of a thing that she still had in her computer after like 10 years. Which is also the logo here, the bookmark she made. And then here I have Skeleton Key, Eagle Strike. And these are actually the British editions, while these are American. Scorpia, Archangel, Snakehead, and Crocodile Tears. This one is signed, which is cool. And this is a sticker I can remove. Also, what I hate about these covers, this doesn't really make sense what's going on, which that's why I hate those covers. Scorpio Rising, Russian Roulette, the story of an assassin. It's my favorite character ever. So, yeah. And then Never Say Die. This is nail polish because the title was completely gone. And then Nightshade. And then Nightshade's Revenge. I also have, what's it called? The other one. Secret Weapon that my friend Avery has right now. And then I have Stormbreaker as a graphic novel. Point Blank graphic novel. Skeleton Key as a graphic novel. Eagle Strike as a graphic novel. Scorpia. And Archangel. And these are all by Anthony Horowitz. And then I have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And then we get to here, which Us in Ruin, if you remember, was in the other shelf, the dust jacket. So now I have Unbelievable, Killers, Killer, Heartless, Wanted, Twisted, Ruthless, Stunning, Burned, Crushed, Deadly, Toxic, and Vicious by Sarah Shepard. And then I have Enola Holmes and Black Barouche by Nancy Springer. The Return by Nicholas Sparks, as you said, is seen earlier, the cover somewhere. The Tree Shepherd's Daughter by Gillian Summer. I'm looking for the other books in this series, but I cannot find them anywhere. It's like they don't exist anymore. I really want them. And then IQ by Joe Hyde. This book I was being an adult, which I did not follow any of the tips that my friend Avery gave me. So, and then here I have Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. And then Barbie books. So Skipper, Gardien à César. Trying to position myself better. Okay, this is better. Le mystère de la route des turquoises. Skipper fait de la musique. Le cerf argenté. L'abominable homme à griffes. De fil en aiguille. La paysanne ou la princesse. Une mère d'amis. Les patins pour le bonheur. Que le spectacle commence. Une ballerine spéciale. Aventure dans les pyramides. La conquête des étoiles. La légende de la perle rose. And À la rescousse du panda géant. These are books that I had as a child. That, my first books that I ever learned to read with. And then I had the brilliant idea to give them to my cousin. Which I regretted after the years. And I found them at the thrift store. So I got them. It's not the complete collection. There's actually 24 or 25 of them. But I have a few, so I'm glad. And I got my favorite ones too. So. And then I have Aurore, La vraie histoire d'enfant martyr by André Mathieu. This is one of the most terrible stories in Canada and Quebec. Which everyone knows what that is. And here is the rest of the manga shelf. So, Spy Family 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10. Not in order. Even these are not in order. What's going on with me? Anyway, I got The Promised Neverland. Also not in order. I'm not gonna take them out because like so many of them. And then I have a few of My Hero Academia, which I'm not entirely a fan of. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not entirely a fan of. And then I also have Vertical by Shinichi Ishizuka. I love that name, by the way, Shinichi. I think it's because of the main character in this is called Shinichi. And now this book does not want to go back to where it is. Okay, anyway. And then here I have some comic books and magazines. So I have Moon Knight, the Marvelverse. I also have Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvelverse. Supergirl, Adventures of Supergirl. Wakanda, Runaways, Parental Guidance, Runaways, I do not know, True Believer. This one is another Runaways. Can't take them out. It's not the best way. More Runaways. It's definitely my favorite one. This one is by Rainbow Well, so it's pretty cool. And then Ironheart, the saga Riri Williams. And then here I have National Geographic about dinosaurs. Totally Spies magazines. This one has no cover. Yeah, I got a few of them. They're not in order either. But yeah, I'm not going to take them all out. And then I have Affaires Criminelles by Miss Guys. So it's like a true crime magazine. So this one's the first one. And I have the fourth one also. So yeah, these are all my shelves. And then these are the Bunny's books. Yeah, these are her books that she chews on when she feels like it. Also, here she is in her box, being all cute. As I was editing this video, she positioned herself like this. She's so cute right now. Asleep in her box. With like her little paw on the side. She's not moving much. Because she's an old girl. Yeah, she's 10 years old. This month, I don't know, I think she already had her 10 years old. She's 10 years old. I'm just showing her other paw. It's so cute. She's like on her fat, like her double chin, using it as a pillow with her paws. It's so cute. Also, I have decided to show the books that are in this thing. So, yeah, I got a few. I have some Archie comics of Betty and Veronica. I got these when there was in like Archie craze with like the Riverdale. There's even a thing for like that show in the back. So I got this one. This one also has a thing on the back. This one has Riverdale on the back. Kind of like that thing. And then I got some High School Musical books that I have since the second one came out, which me and one of my friends are obsessed with, so we had them and kind of like these books. So yeah, she had gotten me this one. I was working and she got me that one. So and then the novelization for Jurassic Park Dominion. It's pretty cool. Hello. And then I got Meow by Annie M.J. Schmidt. It's like a girl that is a cat. And then I have the unauthorized autobiography of Lemony Snicket. So you know, like how it's the character. It's cool. I like that book. And then I have another High School Musical one. So that's the first shelf. Well, first thing. Okay, and then down here, this is a book from a show we had in Quebec, called Kaboom, which is old. Like I had this in high school, and like because I was obsessed with that show when I was 13. Also, the other bunny that I had, Stripe, also to this book. So yeah. I just opened a book and these were inside. Nostalgia! Oh my gosh. This was from a magazine, like the Cool magazine. Wow. Yeah, very nostalgic. I'm keeping those. Also, I have one of the X-File books, which is like one of the episodes, but as a book form. So it's Eve, one of my favorite episodes ever. And then I have this one also, which is another X-File book, and this one is by Charles Grant. What's the title of this one in English? Whirlwind. So yeah, that was one kind of creepy a little, but I liked it. This Barbie book that my grandma got me when I was younger. My grandmother passed away. I really like the art style on this as well, like very 80s Barbie. So love that. And then I have Un Rencontre de l'étrange au nom OVNI by Linda Joy Singleton. And I have Tila, Pirate Malgré. Why is this book so heavy? And it's by Patricia Just Amade. And then I have book 3 here of La Magie des Sirènes by Linda Joy Singleton. Yeah, it was from that same series, and yeah, the first one was like 99 cents. But like the others got expensive, so I never bought them. But here I have it now. Alright, I'm putting these back in here. Treasures. And then down here I have other books, but Charles Dickens. It's technically not mine. I just don't have the address of a friend, and like she has like disappeared from the face of the earth, and I moved and I never got a chance to give it to her, but I still have her book. So yeah, The Adventures of Oliver Twist. And then I got like a novelization of Star Wars, but like the weird translation. So like it's not with the English names, and I hate that, so it's in here. And then here I have 2 of the Mary Kate and Ashley Adventures and New Adventures that I'm planning on gifting to someone that I follow online because she likes these books, but I'm not sure yet, so we'll see. And I think they came with one of them came with little what's it called, postcard type things, so that's pretty cool. So I'll put them there. And that's all the books that I had in the thing.